Alright, welcome back to the Drift Kart series. This is part 3, so if you haven't seen the other two, just go back and look or something like that. We've now got the engine in, most of the chassis rearranged, steering's cool, good, and it's time to start making room to put in the seat. So if you're wondering what this big gap here is for, I realised since the last video that this bar that I put here, put in the way, actually will be in the way of the chain, so I've just moved it across, and it means now I can actually use it. Ooh, still hot. Use it as the mounting point for the motor. So I mean, kind of works out. So chain should now be able to come down through and around to the sprocket. All I need to do now is put in the bar that joins this bit, adds a little bit more strength back to it, and that should be out of the way of the chain. Now, of course, this sprocket does also have to move across just to line it with the motor, but it should be pretty easy once I get to it. Alright, now that I've adjusted that, it's now looking better, whatever. We're pretty solid now. So now we can finally move on to adding on the bits to put on the seat. So let's get on to that. Just remember the last, one of the last videos I put some oil in here just to it's still looking a bit milky. There's probably a bit of water still sitting in there. Yep. A little bit of water. I'd say that's alright. Alright, so we've welded up all the back now and the chain will go past, so I'm happy about that. I will eventually need to move the chain, but that's for later. Now, I've got the spring back where it was, because what I'm going to do is from this point to here, I'm going to make like a little mount for the chair. So the chair's going to sit off here, and hopefully, I think this spring's a bit too hard, but I think later on I'll put like a softer spring so there's at least a little bit of bounce. Alright, so mounts are on. This is pretty safe, and I reckon this angle for the chair, pretty good. Means that it will lean me back in the seat and also give me a little bit more room for my legs because it's a bit tight at the moment. Yeah, definitely no spring from that. It's too strong. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that. Bolts aren't tightened, so it's a bit loose at the moment, but I'm sure when they're tightened up it's going to be pretty strong. Now what I've done is I've plasma cut out a little plate. It's pretty handy because usually my measuring sucks when it comes to drilling it out myself. And I've put some nut certs in, so when I screw it straight into it, it means I won't have to worry about nuts and stuff like that. So plus it looks pretty cool. Alright, so with the seat on, let's see if I can film and drill at the same time. Hopefully it's in frame. Alright, we're done. Pretty tight, looking pretty good, and that is really strong. Let's drop it on the floor and have a look to see if the seat's still too high. Alright, it's starting to look like a drift track. I mean, it's not bad. Seating position's pretty good. I've got still a little bit more foot movement. Now that the seat's further back, means that my legs can actually bend. My ankle can still kind of hit the throttle, because I will be going accelerator and front brake, hopefully. So, I've already got the engine in its right position, and I've marked where the chain, where the sprocket needs to be moved to. So obviously he's not right in line. The string's probably moved since doing it, but I've got to move the housing to this side of this line, so it means that the sprocket will land there. I should be able to put the chain on. Alright, I've kind of skipped forward a little bit, pretty much. I was going to end it, but I decided I kind of want to get the chain on, so that means the next video is just going to be working out the electrics, really, which I got the loom the other day, so it should be just plug and play, hopefully. Now, the next video is where we find out if there's a big problem with the motor and whether I've made a mistake or not. But that's not today's problem. So yeah, and pretty much what I've done, I've already chopped it off. Now's where I line up where the oh, that was smart. Now's where I line up where the sprocket should go. And to be honest, this is a really fiddly bit, and I don't want to distract myself by filming, so next time I see it, it should be on the cart. Check it out. We got it. It's nice in line. It's relatively, the position where it is, I had to actually bring it in just because I couldn't be bothered getting a longer chain. But that's nice and tight. I'll be able to cut this back down to a little bit behind it and put the tensioners back on. That should be pretty good.
Hey. Nowadays the pain follow me, deal with trauma privately. I don't wanna be a burden, I handle things defiantly. Spent a decade searching for a higher power guiding me. Figured out that faith is not up there, that it's inside of me. Act with execution, what's a plan with zero action? Faced with bad habits, knowing it's a magnet to my imbalance. I'm somewhere between confidence and arrogance. The middle ground is treacherous, I work on getting out of it. Pops is looking down, I feel him every time the sun shines. Back to being unsigned, I only got my bloodline. With me going forward, smoking cookie till we dumb high. I heard you taking shots, we pulled up on them.
Alright, that's the end for today. I've got a question for you guys in the comments. Let me know what colour scheme you want me to go with. I do have something in mind, but if you guys come up with something better, I might potentially use that. I don't know. See ya. Life's as real as you imagine. My Jewish girl was tight, cause I ain't link on the Sabbath, but it's Friday and I got a few robins I need a basket. Playing traffic, if you wanna play the faction, we don't act, we getting